All right, so let's get back at this project here. Okay, so I got the head bolts here cleaned up. I got a new gasket, so you can see that it matches here. Why am I wearing gloves? Well, not only for, you know, oil getting absorbing into your skin, but it's a pain in the butt when you work on this stuff and you get the grease and oil under your fingernails and in your fingerprints, and it's not just wash your hands and it's gone. It takes like a week. It's not easy to get out, so it's just easier to put these on and then be done with it. Take them off and you got pretty clean hands. Okay, so the push rods I can put in later after this is on. I cleaned this up here pretty good. Just with the Dremel as well as the piston. I had it out here, try not to get it anywhere in this area. So I just cleaned up any like sharp edges. I kind of cleaned this a little bit with degreaser and WD-40. So I think she should be ready to go on. I'll probably wipe that one more time with a clean rag. I'll go get a clean one. And then I'll get that put on. I'm wiping it with a clean rag. And then I'm probably gonna blow it off yet too. Just because sometimes the rag leaves a little bit of fibers. All right. That looks good. So here's our new gasket. Should I put it on the wrong way? What do you think? Don't think so. There's a little trough right here, probably for returning oil, probably. It's nice that they have these lineup pins, tubes. That is nice. It should be good. Look at that, don't even need bolts. Okay, as for the bolts, let's see if I can back you up a little bit here. They're all the same length, but one of them's got this spacer on. I don't remember what the spacer was for. I don't think it did anything actually. So the ones that are cleaner are probably the ones that went inside the engine. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of motor oil on the threads. Well, that came out fast. That came out quicker than I thought. Indeed. All right. Put a little bit of oil on the threads, and then that will be good. So the three that are cleanest are going to be going here probably. This one here with the gook on, I got a lot of the gook off, but he's probably going to go here. I already got him cleaned up, so we'll throw him on. And that helps for when you torque it, because think if your bolt doesn't go in very good, your torque ain't gonna be accurate, right? How can it be? This one I'm gonna kind of coat because it's really crappy, kind of dry. I'm just gonna throw a little oil on it. but not too much. I just want to get a little coating on it so it doesn't corrode as much. And a little bit on the threads. That gooey one might have went here, I don't know. But this one I can tell was here because the outline of it has a big washer mark on it. So I'm sure that's where it's gonna go. I have to check the old footage, but I'm thinking that's gonna be right. I'll probably look before I torque them. That way I don't have to take one out or whatever. Alright, I gotta find what size that is. I don't even remember if it was metric or standard. To be honest with you. My God, everything's scaring the crap out of me today. Now I'm making a mess. And this is why the gloves are nice. And I'll show you, I like to reuse them at least several days if I don't get them free. I'll show you the easy way to get them on after you take them off. Alright, 1/2 inch. We're only using this to run it in until it touches. Just to speed things up. I don't even want it to snap. Okay, just to speed it up a little bit. Because I gotta go in so far. All right, now I'll need the torque sequence. I know this spacer isn't here because that's where the spark plug goes, and there's no way that was in my way. So it was either here or here, but I can see the outline of the bigger washer. All right, cylinder head. Let's do a little bit of math. So, according to two sources, the most important one being Kohler's website, 30 foot-pounds is what it needs to be at. And then here's the sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Torque the bolts to 15 foot-pounds first, then repeat the sequence to a final torque of 30. So since my bigger torque wrench don't go that low, I'm going to use inch-pounds. So 15 foot-pounds to inch-pounds. Let's do the math here. So 15 times 12 inches in a foot, right? Foot-pound. 180. So I'm going to torque them to 180 first. So I have my small torque wrench set at 180. Kohler says to install Loctite on bolts 3 and 4. So these two, but not the other ones, which I'm assuming that's for in case they would loosen up. They're not internal, right? Where these you can get on the outside. It probably would have been fine without, but since it says calls for it, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to put a little bit on. And then we'll get them torqued down. Again, I'm just going until they touch. Okay. And now I'm going to start with torquing. Not twerking, but torquing. And then I'll keep the sequence handy here. And I gotta find my, here we go. So I got it set for 180, which is 15 foot-pounds. So 1 is here. I'm actually gonna go a little bit less before it clicks out. Put a little bit of torque on them first. Okay, can you see good? Let's see. All right, I'll see if I can get a click out of it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I will go to the final torque. And that is 30. So I'll set this guy at 30. Right there should be 30. I know I don't use the most amazing tools like snap-ons, but I can't afford that. And if you look at a lot of there's a plus or minus on a lot of these, and it's just a little bit better than snap-on. So, I mean, a little bit worse. Snap-on's usually top of the line, but okay, I'm gonna try them again. See if I can get anything on them. Nope. 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 And nope. I'm gonna go one more time. I don't think I'll find anything. I think once checking will be fine. Yeah, as I was saying, plus or minus so many percent, like, you know, 1, 2, up to 4% on these. I think they built that into their specs too, knowing that torque wrenches aren't always going to be perfect. That's what I think. All right, to get the torque wrenches set down and torque. Still better than nothing, I think. Better than going by hand, in my opinion. Because you could probably argue that all day, like, oh, this one's better than that one, and whatever. Be like the Ford versus Chevy thing. Okay, so that should be done. Now it's time to put the push rods in. I gotta clean them up. Alright, so on our brakes, the intake one is aluminum. On here, they're both steel. That makes it a little bit easier. Now, these are non-adjustable valves, it looks like. I'll do this one first. I think I'm gonna get a light in there so I can see more butts. tangled here. Yeah, I don't believe these are adjustable, so I'll have to put a torque on this, and then that's all she gets. I'll make sure that it's got a gap though on top dead center, so that'll be somewhat telling if it's within spec. All right, 100 inch-pounds for non-adjustable valve lash. Torque them to 100. I will be checking to see if everything looks good on top dead center. Yeah, it's pushing down right now. I'll check it again when I get it on top dead center. And for that, I will, let's see, the starter probably turns it this way. And we have exhaust. No, this is exhaust. This is intake. So exhaust is going down, intake will go down next. It should be going, piston should be going down. Now it should be coming back up in a bit. Right about there. That is tight. Why is that? All right, so here is what we got going on. I looked online, and according to Kohler, this would have hydraulic lifters, and if you take it apart, you have to re-bleed them, and that's why this one has play. I can push it back. This one does not. And they want you to bleed them outside of it, and to do that I have to have the head off, and you can just pull them out this way. And they bleeded theirs with just a bar clamp and a socket, and you just put pressure on it, and I think it's like, I don't know, they were saying like 7 minutes or something, and you just got to keep putting a little more pressure on it. And you don't want to run it with it out of adjustment because it can push the valve too far. But here's what I'm thinking. I don't want to take the head off. I'm going to put pressure on it like this, and I'm going to let it for like 10 minutes and see what it does. Alright, that's all it took. My hunch was correct. I didn't want to take all that off just for that. Why wouldn't the valve do it, right? They said that you have to watch so it doesn't, the valve doesn't completely compress the spring and then bend the push rod. I just had them out and I looked at them and they were fine. So now, let's see here. Exhaust, intake. Let's see her come up here. There's the decompression. So right there, it's off completely. There's top dead center right there. So now, see, I can move this one in. This one, it at least has play now. I can't move it in much of this one. It says it should go in like 3/16. So I'm gonna give this one more time, but at least it's not pushing down now. So I'm gonna turn it until it's pushing again, and I'm gonna leave it sit for a while. Here's how I get my gloves. I reuse my gloves. They're inside out when I take them off. Take a little bit of air. Otherwise, you gotta screw with the fingers for 10 minutes trying to pull them out. It's a pain in the butt. And if I could get these for free, I would just throw them out every time, but even then I probably wouldn't. That's it. It's an easy way. I always hated them getting them back on after. All right, I'm gonna work on cleaning some of these shrouds up. What I'm not gonna put on is exhaust yet because I have to get the axle done here. And I want more room for that. But I can probably get these shrouds on, I'm thinking. And when I get this set, I'll probably torque these again. Well, I shouldn't even have to. Still set at 100 inch-pounds. Good. Good. That should be done. As long as I can get play in that, but I think it will. Because when I had it in before, I seen it was pushing out. There was getting room between the springs, coils. So I think that it's gonna be good. All right, from what I found out about those lifters, right from Kohler's got their own video. It says it can be pushed in 3/16. So I don't know if this one's primed. It's not pushing down on the valve. But this one you can push in, this one I can't. But what I'm gonna hope that this one, I don't know if they're bad, I guess you can go like this. According to Kohler, they can have that. So I'm just gonna put it together and see what happens. I know that a hole in there is clear because I can see the moving parts through it. There's a little hole. This actually sends oil up through here. And then it'll just sit in there and then go back down when it gets high enough. So I'm gonna keep going here, I think. I can always replace the lifters if it's ticking and it bothers me. All right, I got her siliconed. So I'm gonna get her on here. These are torqued to 100. So I'm gonna hope that this pumps up and just is fine. That's what I'm hoping for. This one goes, I think this one's got a bracket on. One in the corner. Yeah, I'll probably get flack for this, like, oh, you should replace the lifters. And it's like, what I can find too is they'll pump themselves up and they'll bleed themselves once you start running it a little bit. Leaving it sit and then running it more. So I'm gonna find out. It might be a mistake and it might not be. I don't really know. I think this goes here, but could be wrong. It is 10, by the way. Sure, 1/4 inch ratchet, tight. Got some silicone squeezing out, so that's a good thing. Okay, now I'm gonna put on the shields. So this guy, he's gonna go like this. I think he is. Maybe I should have put that on after, huh? Let's see what's... oh, I think I can get it. Oh, it's still gonna screw me over. There we go. Nothing will happen with the silicone. It will be fine. Okay, I don't want that on yet because I gotta do the muffler. Ay, 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 ay. I'm gonna keep it tight though so the silicone dries. And why ain't I doing the muffler? Because I want to do the axle first before I have the muffler in the way. So I got the new spacer, finally. Delivery isn't very fast. I'm at cleaning the axle up here. I'm gonna run grease in this grease zerk in case there's old stuff in there, which there probably is. So let's measure these ones. Let's see. I think they're really close. The new one is about 3808, 3806 about. And the old one is about 3.8, 797. So about 10 thousandths difference. So not a whole lot of gain on the new one as far as length. So this one probably didn't wear down much. It just froze up and then the bolt started to turn. But this part here is .3763, so it's 40, about almost 50 thousandths, almost a 16th of an inch longer this is. So, but if you put it in here, it does stick past. If it's flush here, it's flush here about, it's sticking out enough, I'll just say. That I shouldn't have to grind the axle part. I think it'll be fine if I tighten it up. I wanted this longer so I can tighten the bolt really tight and then it'll have to pivot in here. And that'll take all the play out of it. But I'm at cleaning it and I didn't get it clean enough. Then when it gets full, you just take some off the end and go again. Oh, it's not ripping for shit though. There's rust in there. It's getting better though. Much better. Spray some of this in there and see how it goes then. That's what we want, right? What'd you say? All right, I'll clean it a little bit more. I'll put the grease gun on here and push the crap out of there. And then I'll have all nice and fresh. Then I'll grease this, putting it in. And it's gonna go back on. All right, let's get that crap pushed out of there. Yeah, it wasn't greased in a while. Wow. There it goes. It was stuck. Now I'll get that crap out of there. All right, now I will grease it, putting it together. All right, do I remember how much of a pain in the butt this is gonna be? It's also gonna be a messy job. But it ain't going back together dry. I can finagle them up there. All right. That's what you call a hell of a man, huh? All right, I have it tight. Look at that. Hardly any play, but it can pivot. So that is accomplished. If I can set this guy down, get the jack out of here, get the jack off, you know. All right, so this guy I welded back on. T-welded. Beautiful, beautiful job. Just beautiful. All right. So he's gonna go up like this, or like this. I don't know. What I can tell you is put it on the same way it was. Try and fish him through there. Finally, I played around with this stupid thing for like 5 minutes. It went like this. Kind of like get this flange up right here. Right like this. And then she'll go right up. What a pain in the butt. All right, new gasket. We'll go on there like so. All right, let's see if I can get it up there. And the bolt started. When I welded it, I just kind of fit it in the crack where it was, so I knew it would be on. I threw a little anti-seize on these threads, just because I can. Probably pretty important threads you'd want anti-seized, even though it could burn off, I suppose, but there is a high temp anti-seize too. I don't think I have that. All right, let's get the bolts for the front and the shield. So go like this. Okay, that's gonna bolt on after. So I can just work on these. I gotta push them up from the bottom. And then the nut goes on top. A little bit of a pain. Just a little. What a pain in the butt. Them were a ½ inch. Pain in the butt getting that carriage bolt in the bottom. I am about done. It's getting late and I have to work. Let's see if I can get this on here with the socket. All right, that's on. Now the shield should be able to go on. So it's gonna go, this is gonna go on first. Let's get one of them in there. And then this, I gotta put that one on there with it. And the one on this side. That's pretty self-explanatory, so I'll be back. All right, I got all those bolts in. There is. Get you off here, and I'm gonna quit for the day. I went further than I was gonna go. I put these two in here. These are gonna be on the cover. And this one. Oh, I gotta do this one yet. And then this one was on there. This one. It looks like there's one that goes in here. I'm gonna have to loosen it up a little bit. It's probably this one here. So I'll wait till I get to the cover. I'm gonna finish this up here. Wasn't that 10 millimeter? Got quite a ways on this tonight. Can't anything cooperate ever. All right, that's it.